Hello, hello, hello. How you doing? My name's Aaron Short. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today is Monday, September 23rd, 2024. How you doing? So I have a new setup. Last week I had to use the quad cortex because the Apollo was not working. So now I've gone full quad cortex this week. Still getting used to it. I just set it up yesterday. And not sure how I feel, but Universal Audio have been unable to help me fix my problems. I thought it was about time I tried it because every year I update the operating system. There could be a problem again. That's the problem with the Universal. It's a shame. It's a great interface, but you have to plug that in, power it up, make sure it's on the latest firmware, install the console, make sure it's the plugins, and then make sure it's all compatible with the latest version that you're running. There's just so many things that can go wrong, you know? It's pretty frustrating. So I'm going to bring this volume up a little bit here. Yeah, I think it was time to try something else. And this does allow me to do other cool things that I'll show you later on. If you got any questions, put them in the chat. I did a video today of the Nano Cortex. It's not, I got it because I'm a fan of quad cortex. That's what I'm using right now. I always want something to take out when I'm using the hybrid guitar. I'm actually using it today. I'll show it to you here. If everything's working right. There we go. When I take this out, I need to have a way to plug these electric pickups in. If you don't plug them in through something like the Nano Cortex, then they are going to sound weird. It's like an electric guitar straight in. So I definitely need some kind of pedal to plug them through. Honestly, when I was at Gear Street, I got the Tone X1. Probably what I'll end up using between me and you, because it's so small. Look, it's so small. It's awesome. But I wanted to try the new quad cortex thing because I like the quad cortex. I really am a fan. But with this guitar, problem with a guitar like this is it's basically an acoustic with electric pickups put in it. So there's very little way of shielding it. With an electric guitar, it's naturally shielded, right? With this, it's not very well shielded. And I noticed with the Nano Cortex, there's a lot of noise, as you'd expect from a guitar like this. But I don't notice it as much with other pedals. And that noise goes away when I plug the output to a speaker, which is creating a ground. So I think it's this guitar. This guitar is not grounded as well as a regular electric guitar. It can't be because it's the design of the acoustic body. It just can't be shielded and grounded the way that a regular electric guitar is. So I don't know. I'm going to try next with the Tone X1. It's smaller. It's more portable. And I really think the Tone X1 is awesome as well. I'll give you a quick demo of this one. I've got it set up. I can actually switch to guitar now. He says as it doesn't work. What have I done? Hang on. I can't switch while I'm on the volume level on the quad cortex. Now I can. So when I switch now, you'll only hear the guitar. I'll mute the microphone for me. So that was electric, acoustic, and then electric. Yeah. The only criticism I have, or observation I have with this, is that these strings are 10s, which is awesome because they play like, they almost play too easy. I know Gary was talking to me the other day about he's using 13s. They're hard to play. Well, these are these are 10s. So look, let me show you. It's ridiculous. I say that now I won't be able to play them, but look. So that's no problem at all. You try and do that on 13s. But you do lose a bit of tone, I feel. I don't know if I can EQ that to sound fatter. I think the optimum strings for this guitar would be 11s. I think that would be a nice compromise because the low action and the thin strings on this don't have the power that the 12s do on my other guitar. It's not the body, it's the strings. Definitely the strings. So I think I will put 11s on this fairly soon. Once I've gotten used to how that feels. I might play a song later if I'm persuaded. Bear with me. I've got this new system running. I have my Stream Deck's unplugged. I can't see a lot of things that I can normally see. I'm running a very high noise gate on this new setup. But ultimately, I should soon be able to have a setup where I'm going to use my MIDI foot switch that has labels on it that you can enter the text on it. What I'm going to try to do is have foot switch 1 be this, talking. Foot switch 2 be electric guitar or guitar, so it'll mute the mic and you'll just hear the guitar. So if I'm doing a guitar demo, you'll only hear the guitar, no vocal mic. Foot switch 3 will bring in the mic with reverb at a lower level so I can sing a song. Foot switch 4 will switch to piano. And foot switch 5, and also when I press the button to make the guitar come through the sound, I want to also make the camera switch at the same time. So when I press button 2, I'm using the basic MIDI. I'm crazy today. I'm using the basic MIDI switch today. But what I want to happen is, and it's quite easy, when I press button 2, I want it to switch to guitar and also switch to this view. So like that. I want to, or maybe me and the guitar, like this, side by side. Just give me a little preview here of what I'm working on. So like this. When I press button 2, I want this to come up. As you can hear, the voice is muted, so you're not hearing the strings. You're not hearing the strings through the microphone, and it's all done with my feet. You won't see anything happening. That'd be kind of cool. Like if I'm demoing a guitar, especially an electric or an electro pickup, I can so when I do when I do the hi-fi duet system, it'll be amazing for that because I can go live, I can talk about it, I can switch to the view of the guitar while I'm playing with no vocal mic with my foot. I can then switch and have everything else change so I can sing a song with it. I can press and the camera can switch for me. I haven't got to do anything with my hands. I can just use my feet to trigger everything. I haven't got to keep reaching over to the desk. So I think this quad cortex will be really cool. I think I'm gonna try it for a few weeks and then I'm gonna sell the Apollo because this will never have a problem like I had with the Apollo. This is called class compliant. With something like quad cortex, you plug it in USB and it just works. There's no drivers, there's no software. I've got the editor, which is basically a remote control in front of me, but there's no software to install from the company which maybe hasn't been updated by the company. And I think that's going to be really cool. So give me a thumbs up if you haven't. Make sure you're subscribed if you haven't, and ask some questions. And I'm going to say hi to everyone in the chat. I think I'll leave the guitar there for now, so everyone knows it's a guitar stream. Good doing. Good to see you. Hi to everyone watching. Rosanna, how you doing? Rainy? So I think it's about to start raining here. Problem with the rain here is that means it gets even noisier outside with the airplanes and everything. David, good to see you. How you been? What's up? What's new? Bernard, interested to hear about the gear. Good. Graham's here. Good. How you doing? Lee, how you doing? I'm off to Germany. I'll be seeing Martin at Germany this Friday, Lee. I land My time in America, it would be midnight Thursday. That moves forward to 6, I think. 6 or 7 Germany. Then I take a 1-hour cab to the venue, and I'll be at the conference center and to come back Monday. I probably won't be here next Monday. I'm always tired when I fly back from Germany. But next week, I should be releasing videos on this new bag stuff. And also, I may go live during the week next week to show stuff if I have it in my possession. So that's cool. Lee's got a new guitar. Oh, it's not what I think it is it, Lee? You're a bad boy. Gary says, hey, Aaron. Gary here from Tucson. I got a chance to demo an SC18 last night. Mahogany Sitka with bags Anthem. Nice looking guitar. It was very good. Surprised me, but I'm not used to a 1/11/16. I thought it was 1 3/4. I struggle with the neck shape and width. They're very thin. These hybrid guitars have much thinner necks than the regular Cole Clarks do. I didn't like it at first. Well, actually, on this sort of guitar, I like it because I want it to feel more like an electric. On their thin line guitars, they have the same, and I tried one of those and didn't like it. I like the medium neck on my Angel 2. By the way, they're not called Angel, etc. anymore because the names were a bit questionable along the line. It's now the AN2, but whatever. I don't like super thin necks. I don't like super thick neck. I like in between. This one on here is still not crazy thin, but you know, it's what you get used to. It's you play anything long enough, you get used to it. So neither of these necks bother me. But I didn't think that. Let me just check that. SC18E. The SC18E. I can't wait for the bags guitar. I might give this thing a run for its money. Or it's actually a lot cheaper than this, isn't it? Nut width. No, it's not. It's not one. It's 1 3/4. That's what I thought. It's just a thin neck. It's meant for electric players like yourself. I'm so, you know, surprised because you play a lot of electric guitar. Boomer's here. Gorgeous sound. Yeah, I think my other guitar sounds better. I think it's the strings, the fatter strings. Searching for tone. Just came from the Lambs live. Lot going on. Awesome. The SC18E tone was good, but compared to the DC18E, the SC18E was leaner, thinner sounding. The bass was less, as you expect, with 11s and a thinner voice. Well, what you need to do for a start is, I mean, okay, first of all, I'll be blunt with you, Gary, because you don't mind that, do you? I always am, right? First of all, you cannot compare 11s to 13s or even 12s, right? So you'd have to put 12s on the DC18E and the SC. But then again, the SC is such a small, thin body, you can't really, it's not fair to compare that to the DC either. The best, fairest guitar to compare to the SC is the OM that you have, the OMC 28E with 12s. And even then, I'd expect the SC to sound a bit smaller, but it should be easier to play. And that, like this guitar, you know, it's all these trade-offs, isn't it? I have played the SC18 and 28 at NAMM and a couple of stores, and I do think they're great. But I'd like to hear them with the hi-fi duet. Well, it's not. You have the same one? Awesome. I didn't know that. What are your favorite strings? I only use most, well, I'm absolutely in love with the D'Addario XS. I don't love them acoustically on all my guitars that I've put them on. Some of the Martins definitely prefer the Martin, or I prefer the Martin strings, should I say. They just don't last. The XS last a long time. They feel great. This has XS on. Any guitar that I gig with, I would use the XS. And I'm slowly moving over completely. Again, it's what you get used to. But the XS, if you haven't tried XS D'Addarios, you have to try them. They are great strings. And I have no connection with D'Addario. Cole Clark Hybrid sounds pretty darn good acoustically. Well, you haven't heard it acoustically. It's plugged in. Don't like the electric. The one-size-fits-all guitars have some... Well, I disagree again, because I feel like if I didn't tell you what I was playing right now, you know, I think a lot of this is psychological. if I didn't tell you what I was playing and I just did this. I don't believe for a second you wouldn't know that was electric. We'll throw this in here as well. I've dialed this in with my settings. I'm using a Plini modern amp. And, you know, I have it. Obviously, you would want to choose the amp that you're used to hearing. But the problem is when you see something with your eyes, it's like a lot of people with these digital modelers, like, hey, check out this quad cortex. Look, I'm playing through it. Oh, it's digital. Yeah, well, you're looking at a touchscreen. That's why you think like that. I'm not sorry to, I'm not. This is my channel. I give my opinions. This is my opinion. You see something, you have a certain preconception, right? I really believe that. And the fact that you saw this this beast on the screen, the minute I do that, you're going to think, oh, well, that's not going to sound like an electric, is it? That's an acoustic guitar with some electric pickups. Yeah, it sounds all right, but it doesn't sound like a real electric. It doesn't sound like a Gibson or a Fender guitar. That monstrosity, what they're trying to do. I will agree in one regards, like it doesn't, although it plays well, you know what it is? It's the G string. The G is wound. If the G was plain, it would play as well as any of my electric guitars. I would happily play this in a band. No problem at all. I mean, look, I can throw a little bit of drive on here as well. So I'm trying to take some high end off because I tend to dial things in bright. If I was doing this properly, what I would do is I'd dial in the clean, the crunch, and the lead on different scenes, so I'm not just throwing an overdrive in front of a bright amp. But yeah, you know, I mean, I've done Hallelujah on something like this, and I listen back to the recording, and I totally forget that I'm playing the acoustic. I just hear like a Telecaster. But I'm kind of the same. When I'm at the gig, I might wonder to myself, does that actually sound like an electric, or does you know, are people like looking at me funny? But when I get home and listen to it in isolation, heard the one secret chord David played and it pleased the Lord. You don't really care for music, do you? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift. The baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. I don't know. And then the other thing is, of course, I think the way to think about gear is, what does it do well? Like when you blend the two pickups together, that's a new sound. Yeah, maybe you don't approach the gear like no plugged-in acoustic from any company will sound like a mic acoustic guitar. So, but there are pickups like the Anthem where you can use that to your advantage. There's pickups like this where you can use it to your advantage. Look, check this out. When I do a loop, I'm going to get the looper working on this as well in a few weeks' time. But when I do a loop, lately I'll do something like this. So it's not dialed in right, but that would be in the loop. And then I would use that as a kind of a percussive sound. You know, that's something that I can't do on a regular acoustic with a Neumann microphone. So that's using things to their advantage. But I think the best way to do things is to close your eyes. And I think when I close my eyes and play this, I don't know. I mean, it is what this is. I guess the compromise would be in the strings. This is basically a 335. It's a hollow body guitar. And they've just remagnetized the pole pieces here to balance out. So these two unwound strings are not louder than the rest, because they're always, the problem with hybrid guitars is these two strings are always louder than the rest because they're not coated. So they balance these pole pieces out with a machine to make them evenly balanced, which is really, really cool. And I mean, it basically is an electric guitar. It's an electric guitar. It's a hollow body electric guitar, but it's got acoustic. The only trade-off I would say is the acoustic strings. But I'd love to record this and a 335 and see who can tell which is which. I don't know. Maybe you can. I'm just thinking that way. But we'll see. I don't care. It's a cool guitar. I got no questions yet. Oh, I think when you said acoustically, you meant through the piezo pickup. It does sound good, but it doesn't sound as good as the full-size Cole Clark with the 12s. But that's not the full size. It's the 12s. The 12s. It's the string gauge. When a pickup is this sensitive, the strings make a big difference. And also 10s are very thin strings. They're like, Tommy Emmanuel calls them cobwebs, spider webs, right? How does the guitar ground itself? Well, that's the problem. That's why it's a noisier guitar than others, because it doesn't have the same kind of shielding that a solid body would have. And then you've got the single coil pickups in it. They do make this with the two humbuckers, which would be more like a 335. Rex, what's going on? Back in Phoenix for a couple of days and heading back to high school reunion in Chicago, hoping to visit Chicago Music Exchange, and Dave's in Madison while I'm back there. Very nice. Don't buy anything. Marco, what's up? Have a great time. Oh, he got the guitar. I thought he did. Oh, dear. You didn't sell one of Rosanna's kidneys. You sold Rosanna. Chris, I recently bought the Fender FR10 and Tonex. Really like the FR speaker, but I'm getting horrid sounds out of Tonex. That's my only thing about these capture pedals. They're only as good as what you put in them. I like the models on the Quad Cortex. Now, you know, like I said, my amp that I've got loaded right now is a very modern metal clean amp. Probably not the best amp to be demoing what I'm demoing right now. I probably should have chosen, I don't want to spend too long tweaking here on the live stream, but I could have chosen, for example, I don't know, let me try deluxe. So. See, it's warmer and fatter sounding. So you've got to choose the right thing. And I'm, you know, I agree. The Fender FR10 is fantastic. I've got the 12, fantastic things. But with the Tonex, they're only as good as what you put in. But then again, the problem with a modeler is there's all these models that you can use. I say find something that's good enough and stick with it, or you're going to spend forever tweaking around. So like with this thing here, this Tonex, this Quad Cortex, like if you've got a deluxe, then load up the deluxe and try to dial it in the way your deluxe is dialed in. Use a little bit of EQ as well, the EQ block, and then just try to, you know, stick with that. So for example, let me see if I can do it now. Let's get it like where I would have it. So that's what I would do. I'm happy with that sound. I would stick with that sound. I don't go through every, I mean, if you've got time one day, you can go through every single amp. But I think it's best to choose something you've used before and just get a sound and go with it. That's what you do with a tube amp, right? You turn it on, you plug into that channel they give you, you turn the knobs till you're happy, and you leave it. So try to do that if you get option paralysis. Royce, oh, how you doing, Doc? What's up, Doc? Roy, I mostly use early ball paradigm for tuning stability and durability. 11s on electric and 13s on acoustic. So I use 10s on electric and 12s on acoustic. I use the XS, but these are 10s on this acoustic. I used the XS over the last week. Taylor is switching. Everyone is switching. Cole Clark, I don't know about Maton, but Cole Clark, another company just announced it. I think I have to wonder if there's some financial incentive here from D'Addario, but on the other hand, I love them. So maybe there is, but they love them as well. I really think they're the best that I've used in a long time. The Elixirs have more tension. I don't like that. So I really do love the D'Addario. I'm using them. Yeah, they last, they sound great, they feel great. Do you still have your John Mayer style offset Snowflake OM cutaway? I never had one of those. Offset OM cutaway. John Mayer. I never had one of those. Oh, you mean the, right, you mean the one that was, he had one in Koa and I found one in Rosewood and I bought it. And there was also one in Koa available for a few months before someone bought it, which was wild. No, I sold it. It started to have a bit of, sometimes on Martins lately, let me just show you on the screen. I've noticed on some Martins lately, well, so I should be careful what I say. 2 Martins lately, one of which was mine. Not the binding, but the fretboard edge here kind of starts to bubble, not bubble, but it's kind of flake off. And it was very small. And I did tell them, I did disclose this, by the way. I was going to send it to Martin to have it repaired under warranty, which would have been done for free. And I said to them, it just sold, and I saw it happen. And I said, "Oh, I'm going to send it to Martin. Do you still want it?" They said, "Yeah, they'll deal with it." So they bought it. So I sold it. That was a good guitar, but I don't know. I wasn't playing it. I've just sold a few more guitars this week as well. But That was pretty good. I can't believe they didn't sell out quicker based on the, talking about the, based on the popularity of the John Mayer guitars. I can't believe that Koa sat around. That's basically one of his guitar. That's the guitar they gave him. That's the guitar. Can't believe it sat around that long. And yet people will spend 30 grand on a beat up 28, wild. Lee, I played the SC18, easy to play, but I would not get one's a pure acoustic. Doesn't have the volume or projection. Well, what does? Nothing has the volume and projection of a Dreadnought with 13s on it. It just doesn't. Nothing does. Or not even 13s, just the body size. You can't beat physics. People like to say that their small guitar sounds like a Dreadnought. No, there's just no way. No, small guitars can sound bigger than other small guitars, but no small guitar can sound like a really good Dreadnought because it's just physics. And I know nothing about physics, but I do know that. Searching for tone, aren't we all? So far, Ernie's have been the most popular on the poll, but it was only 16 people. You're such a gifted player and singer. You make the guitar sound musical and sweet. Well done. If I lived there, I'd come to as many shows as I could. Thank you. Well, that's how you found that Martin, right? I'm going to play another song. But I just want to disclose this because I really do feel strongly about it. That these strings, while wonderful. Now, here's the thing. If you're playing a 4-hour gig every night, these strings could be the way to go. But they just feel so thin to me. I think I need 11s on this guitar. But like I just said, if you're going to play this in a rock band, which you could, I would use the 10s. But to play solo, I want my guitar to have a bit of fatness. Now, I wonder to the audience, though, can they tell? I bet they couldn't. I bet if I played this at a gig, they would just hear an acoustic guitar. But to me, what I'm hearing, there's a bit too much resistance. Not resistance. There's not enough resistance. I'm feeling like I want a bit more. I don't like that word fight, but I just want a bit more. The string's just a bit too like spider webs, Thank you, thank you. Searching for tone. I often play and sing 2 to 3 hours without a break with the paradigms. I need to tune less often. You really think some strings stay in tune longer than others? I think the most important thing is the way you put them on and stretch them in. I've been getting the gigs lately, and my Cole Clark that I gig has been perfectly in tune. That's quite rare to have that on the acoustic guitar. Even on the Rain Song carbon guitars, I didn't have that because strings still change, right? My problem lately is doing all these gigs and my ears. I'm starting to get a little bit of not ringing, but a bit of like compression sound in my ears. I think I've tried to keep the volumes lower in my in-ears, but at the end of the day, if you gig every night for 4 hours, even if you have a regular PA behind you, or even if you stand behind the PA, once you hit 90 dB for more than 30 minutes, your ears are starting to get damaged. It's sad that the thing we love to do is ultimately killing us. It's like people that run every day, they get knee problems, right? It's just, it's sad that if you do something too much. That's why they say everything in moderation. And that's why I'm here running a chat about buying guitars. Would love to hear more tunes from you. Chilling with a nice espresso. Enjoyed it. Oh, I tell you what, if I get a super chat, I'll play another song. How about that? Is that fair? If I get a super chat, I'll play another song for you. Because, I got bills to pay. And I got guitars to buy. And I got to go to Germany this week and buy lots of German beer. Sounds nice. Motivating me to get out my Godin 5th Avenue and mess around with the Voice Live 3 and Spark 2, which is waiting for me. Hunting wabbits. Hey, Aaron, have a Martin D18 with no pickup. What do you recommend? Christian, that's a golden question, my friend. And if you ask that in the groups on Facebook, you'll have 1,000 answers by the end of the day of different recommendations that will drive you to many beers. Thank you. Thanks for subbing. Are you sure? Because it didn't pop up on my screen. Make sure you subbed. Wait for the Hi-Fi Duet, which should be shipping any day. I hear they're shipping by the end of the week, maybe. So wait for that. I'm going to be reviewing it. I'm doing a deal. Sounds like a illegal thing, doesn't it? I'm doing a collaboration with one of the best, most supportive companies from Gear Street, shall we say. Aside from IK Multimedia, who are awesome. IK Multimedia are awesome. I have their iLoud speakers that I see are current. There we go, Roy. Thank you. Oh, it's a super chat. Okay, so I'll do a song. I see the iLoud IK speakers are $600 off right now. They were $2,000 when I bought them. They're now $600 off. So I do recommend them. I absolutely love those speakers. Very happy with them. And they're currently $600 off. So, but Dewena have been very good since I got back. And, well, I don't want to say too much because, you know, sometimes things don't work out how you want them to. And you say too much and then you have to backtrack. I'm not going to say too much, but stay tuned. Probably next week I'll have something for you. And if I don't, then it didn't work out. I say it to everyone now as well, by the way. I say, look, I don't want to get too excited because what happens is when you get too excited for something, you end up being disappointed. This hype thing is really, really dangerous. Okay, let me find the lyrics here. Okay, this is my favorite song at the moment. Just going to tune the guitar. That's the other cool thing with the Quad Cortex. I have a tuner on the screen at all times as well. And now I'm going to put a cable on, which is going to mess it up. Yeah, I could, don't think I don't want to tweak all the time. I think with some gear, I get to a point where it's good enough and I just stop. It's really dangerous. You could tweak anything. You know, it's like any kind of artist, right? You can just tweak forever. So let's see if I can play this. I'm just going to dial in a quick sound and then I'll play it for you. Both, so you can see what I'm doing a little bit. You can't see what I'm playing, but you can see the guitar. This should be voice and guitar. Yep. This is acoustic. Oh, I like that. It's nice. Yeah. See if you can guess the song before I start playing it. Breathe. I messed up. Let me start again. I'm getting nervous here. And I don't get nervous. When this whole world starts getting me down and people are just too much for me to face, I climb way up to the top of the stairs, and all my cares just drift into space. On the roof, it's peaceful as can be, and there the world below don't bother me. No, so when I come home feeling tired and beat, I'll go up where the air is fresh and sweet now. I get far away from the hustling crowd and all the rat race noise in the street. On the roof, it's the only place I know. Look at the city, baby. You don't have to wish to make it so. Let's go up on the roof. stars, they put on a show for free. And darling, you can share it all with me. Yeah, that's what I keep telling you, the right smack dab in the middle of town. I found a paradise that's trouble-proof. And if this whole world starts getting me down, there's room enough for two on the roof. On the roof. Everything is alright, it's alright. You got those stars above and the city lights on the roof. Everything is alright on the roof. You got those stars above and the city lights on the roof. On the roof. Oh, it's funny. My heart rate's definitely picked up a bit. I don't get nervous. I get more nervous on a live stream than I do at a gig. I guess I know it's being recorded, right? It's that red light fever. But that's why I think a click track, I use a click track a lot lately, and I haven't got one today. So I'd like to have a click track somehow. I don't know how I'd do it. But that would stop you rushing, because when you get nervous, you rush and you lose that nice groove. So I wonder if I can, I wish they would add a click track to the Quad Cortex. Maybe they will. Maybe I can do it with my phone somehow. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, so when I dig in, I feel that snappiness of the strings. You know, when you have low action and brand new strings and they're thin and the truss rod is too tight, especially when the truss rod is too tight, you get that kind of snappy sound. So that would go away if I use thicker strings and raise the action slightly. And I think that's what I'm hearing. But another reason I wanted to play more on the stream is because I can listen back later and think to myself, how you know, just without sitting here like this in this situation, I can just sit back on the couch later, play the songs back and think, how did they sound? Oh, it sounded good. Or, oh, it sounds snappy, so I'll try the thicker strings. And then I may cut the songs out if I get a copyright claim. What case? This time of year. I love this time of year. I love Halloween. I love all the drinks, the pumpkin, everything. Pumpkin. But the thing is, we have to humidify these guitars, and it drives me insane. It's a reason why I want to sell a bunch of my acoustics, especially because I just run in the humidifiers every day, which I do anyway for my voice and my skin, but then on the guitars as well. Oh my goodness, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So I use the Bovedas, but last year I must have spent $500 on Boveda. You know, that's why I'm getting rid of stuff. To spend hundreds of dollars on Boveda packs and then not play the guitar, I'm nuts. And I might have a couple of guitars coming in anyway for these pickup reviews, so I need to move some stuff on. I haven't played this for a long time. I just wanted to break it out today to to show it off. Wallace says, great song. Hope you play it when I'm in New York. Coming to watch a few gigs. Awesome. I've been running karaoke, which I'm really enjoying as well. If I'm still doing that when you can't, I'm on trial at the moment, on trial for the karaoke. So if that's still running, you just come down and sing at that. It'd be great. Isaac, sounds awesome. Thank you. Sounds excellent, both singing and playing. Thank you. I think if I'm critical of that, my least favorite thing is probably the guitar tone. And that's not the situation with the other Cole Clark. I think it's these thinner strings. I mean, at the end of the day, If 10s, here's the thing, right? If 10s sounded as good as 12s, no one would play 12s, right? Why do we play 12s on our acoustic guitar? Because they sound full, they sound good. If 9s sounded like 13s, no one would play 13s. And it's the same with the guitar size. Yes, small. I said earlier, small guitars can sound good for their size. But if there was a mini guitar out there that sounded like a vintage D35, no one would play a vintage D35. It's all the trade-off of this stuff, you know. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Kevin, my Cole Clark fat lady. Oh, see, I said it. They don't say that anymore. That's old terminology. My Cole Clark, and I understand why. I wish they just changed that name completely. My Cole Clark FL3 Redwood Blackwood has Super Romatics 109 series tuners. Do you know a string winder that works? Yeah, any string winder works. The reason I like these string, let me show you if I can get a close up on this one. The reason I like these over them is two reasons. One, like you said, the string winder goes on and stays there. Whereas on yours, you know, so on if I put my what's the company called? Nomad string winder on here, it will literally stick to it. And I can take my hand away and put my hand back and wind and take my hand away. That's the first reason. The second reason is on a guitar like this, with tuners like this, I've found something really cool with these tuners. If I turn it one full rotation exactly, it will be almost perfectly in tune. So when I finish the song in D, if I turn that key one full rotation, it will be from E to D. If I do that with your tuners on the 3 series, it won't do that. So I actually prefer these tuners for that reason. I'll give you an example and see if I can do that. So I'll play a D, I'll turn that one rotation, and it should be in tune. I'll check the tuning before and after. Here we go. So not quite, but let me see how far out it is. That could have, see, it's right there. It could have been me because. No, wait, I've messed it up. Hang on. Yeah. Bearing in mind, you've still got to remember where it was and do it exactly where it was. Okay, I'm not doing a good job of this today. But usually, I didn't even put it in the right place. Usually, when I'm at a gig, if I turn that and hit it, it's close enough that it's a D down. But I didn't work like that on the 3 series tuners. Let me try again. It's bugging me now. I messed it up. Perfect, you see? Yeah. I'm getting red light fever today. That's why I like these tuners. And then you can go straight into. Or and then you can do. Something like that. But yeah, I do that a lot lately. It's a little party trick that I've got, which I like a lot. Now, when I do that with the fancy looking tuners on the 3 Series guitars, it doesn't work. And also they're harder to wind with the winder, like you said. So if I was you, you can buy a set of those on Sweetwater. They're Grovers. I'd put the 2 Series ones on, but that's just me. That's why I like them. Same problem with in-ears. I need to put a little more highs on my master in-ear mix every hour, and even with expensive custom in-ears. Well, just be careful that's not your high pitches dying because it's too loud. I wish my in-ears all told me the exact volume I'm using them at. The ones on the Voice Live 3, it doesn't tell you that. So you've got to be very careful. When you use Apple AirPods, it tells you the volume you're listening at. So you can get an idea, I guess, of what dB you'd be using your in-ears at, but it's not like having the number right in front of you. Can you give us a close-up of the bridge? The saddle looks like the bottom E is right on the edge of the saddle. Oh, actually, you're right. Oh my good. Oh, whoa. How did you spot that, Lee? Flippin' heck. You're right. When I restrung it, I put the saddle in too far. That might be why it sounds a bit off to me. God. Well, that's why you're here. That's why we have a live stream and people are watching, because they can see all the stupid mistakes that I make. You're absolutely right. When I put the saddle back in, it's... God, I can't believe I did that. The saddle isn't in the slot properly. That's going to affect the way the whole thing sounds and plays. Goodness me. All right. I bet you when I put that in the... I mean, it's not making contact in the saddle slot. And also, it's high up, so the strings are at a weird angle. Less break angle. There's no break angle in that E. Okay, I'm not going to do it now, but you're absolutely right. So if you like the guitar, you'll like it even more when the saddle's in the slot. That's unbelievable. I can't believe I missed that. I don't usually miss stuff like that. I guess I was in a rush to restring it and just didn't... I'm not gigging this, so I didn't look at it. Wow. That's nuts. All right, Boomer, thank you. I'll do another song. Oh, now I want to put that in the slot. Let me see if I can do it. Hang on. I'm going to break everything. Never do this stuff live. I don't know if I can without... Total amateur move, but I'm so glad you pointed that out because... No, I can't. You're right. It's like, oh my God. I hope it's not damaged the slot. I mean, I've started now, so I'll finish. I'm going to slacken the strings all the way off. See if I can just push it across. Hang on. Oh, no. Right, let me do this properly. Put the capo on the first fret so the strings don't come off. Yeah, now I'm worried that I've damaged the guitar. Great. Okay, now I can loosen them all the way. See if I can loosen them enough to just slide that across here. Wow. You know, this is why I never do live like demo reviews normally, because there's I always watch, here we go. I always watch it back and think something like that, and I'll think, oh no, now I've misrepresented the product, you know? Okay, now it's in the slot. Holy cow, that's wild. Yeah, it was sitting up on the adjustment screw. I want to hear what it sounds like now. It probably sounds exactly the same, but let's see. That's crazy. This is why we play the piano, not the guitar. Ignore these sounds. This is the sound of the microphone you're hearing, not the guitar. So So wind them up enough. They've got some tension in them. Then I can take the cable off again. So putting the cable on there stopped the strings from flying off. I put it on the first fret just to stop the strings flying off when I loosened them that much. Now I'll bring it back to pitch again. Please don't break. I got a bad feeling about this. There we go. I'm trying to think of a good song. It honestly does sound a lot deeper and better. I want to delete the live stream. I was doing so well today. I was coming across as quite the semi-professional. And then he points out that my saddle's not in the saddle slot. I'll just try harder next time, people. Don't worry. All right. What am I going to play? What's the song about a guitar? Because he saved the guitar. So what can we play? Oh, I know. I had such a crazy week last week. I daren't do anything too adventurous on the vocal side. I've definitely been overplaying lately. This old guitar taught me to sing a love song. Show me how to laugh and how to cry. It introduced me to some friends of mine and brightened up some days. It helped me make it through some lonely nights, while a friend I have on a cold and lonely night. This old guitar gave me my lovely lady. It opened up her eyes and ears to me. It brought us close together. I guess it broke her heart. It opened up the space for us to be. What a lovely place and a lovely space to be. This old guitar gave me my life, my living, and all the things you know I love to do. Serenade the stars that shine from a sunny mountainside, and most of all to sing my songs for you. Ooh, I love to sing my songs for you. Yes, I do. You know I love to sing my songs for you on a guitar with a saddle in the slot. What's the matter with the clothes I'm wearing? Can't you tell that your tie's too wide? Sounds great now. Thank you. You fixed my guitar. That does sound deeper, doesn't it? The strings still have that. They definitely still have that. I still think I would put 11s on here, but it sounds deeper than before. It's those thin strings, you get that. But hey, if you can deal with that, then it's way easier to play. So yeah. Is that okay now? Yes. That was wild. Yeah, it's more lower. Yeah. The high strings are still too thin to me because they're thin, they're tens. But the low strings now have more low end, don't they? So that's why I think on this guitar, 11s would be awesome. I might put 11s on for next time, like when I play it next time. Good eyes, says Thomas. Yeah, I didn't see it. That's wild. I've got really good eyes. I've got good far eyesight. My eyesight close to me is getting a little bit blurry these days. Eagle Eye Cherry. See, a song like Eagle Eye Cherry would be great with the two pickups. So that's a really cool indie lo-fi kind of unique tone that you can't get from any other guitar. And that's cool. Especially if you put a little bit of, I mean, the other thing you could do is put a little bit of grid on there. That's very kind of indie sound. Pretty playing, good to hear you again. That sounds epic to me. Really enjoy performances. Bass is definitely better. And good shout, Lee. Hi, Rosanna. Cool. So, right, not many questions this week, but I guess I've been showing you this guitar. Maybe I'll. No, my plan isn't to show a different guitar every week anymore, but I will have a guitar with me of some kind. And if there is a guitar or a pedal that I'm showing that week, if I happen to have it, I'll bring it on the stream with me. Just why not? So I posted a video on the Quad Cortex, the new Nano one. I was going to use that with this. So right now I'm using the Quad Cortex for this. So the Nano one would sound like this. I'm pretty happy with it. It could be dialed in even better, I'm sure. But I don't know if I'm going to go that way because I had some noise issues with this guitar because of the way this is not shielded. I might go with the Tone X1 for this guitar, but that means more fiddling around, right? But that's okay. Once I got it dialed in, it's dialed in. What was I going to say? Yeah, but I've got this set up now. So like if I do get a guitar in to review, especially with a pickup in it, I can just go live, show it, play a song, whatever. I might have to cut the songs out if it affects my my stream. So I will do that. If I get the notification, I'll probably cut them out. Or maybe I won't. No, actually I won't, because these streams don't generate much anyway. But electric guitar videos do, and the Quad Cortex video is already at 870. I've got another one to do on that about things I would change. I'm going to post that tonight. So please watch them if you haven't. It all helps. Give them a comment and a thumbs up. It all helps the algorithm, which is awesome. So this week, again, I will be at... So first of all, if you're new here, subscribe and ring the bell. This week, I will be at Mannheim. I land Friday morning. I go straight there. Tommy Emmanuel plays Friday night. Saturday, Sunday, I might go live. So make sure you've got notifications turned on. I've tried to go live from the convention center like I did at NAMM. If not, I'll shoot some videos if I can and upload them next week. I'll talk about it when I get back next week. Next week, I may have some of the bag stuff. I don't know yet, but it's really, really imminent. And I know those videos are going to do well. That's cool. There's a couple of other things coming out possibly that's not out yet that might be coming out this week. This is the week of the releases for sure. So just keep an eye on the channel. Keep the notifications turned on your device. Let's go through the last of these. Do you give your strings a little pull so they fit tightly against the pin? You recently mentioned you solved intonation. Yeah, not just the Maton, the Cole Clark, all my guitars. I'm getting that weird intonation thing. I don't have that anymore. That fixed that problem. I really should make a video about that because that was driving me nuts, and I'm sure people thought I was nuts with the statement, the question I was asking them. But it definitely was the issue and definitely fixed my problem. Yes, if you don't pull the strings, then you're really missing out. Look, when you put the new string on, so you put the string, so I feed it further through and lock it in, like I said on a previous live stream, to stop that issue on the D string not having the correct intonation. That really did fix that. It was wild. Once you've done that, you wanna, because if you, I mean, this has already been stretched in a bit, but if I play it, so that's in tune, okay? If I hold down the nut here so it doesn't break the nut, just behind the nut, and then pull that string, don't go crazy, but pull it all the way along the string, tug on it. Right, now check it out. It's dropped. And if it's dropped from doing that, then it's going to drop while you're strumming really hard or bending. It's going to do it, right? So I do that. And I do it again and again. There's some people that don't want to do that because they say it kills the string. Well, it's a personal preference. I like to do it a few times to get that initial thing, you know, done. So because I'm gigging and I don't want to be tuning all night, I always do that. If you think about it, if you restring a guitar and don't do that at all, the minute you go on stage and bend. See, that drops slightly. I'm actually wondering if I did stretch these in, because I did this the other day. I don't think I stretched. With my gig guitar, I'll sit there and stretch them until they don't go out of tune anymore, because I don't want to be at a gig and that happens. But if I do that enough on here, and I do a combination, I'll do that, and then I'll also bend them as well. Because you are going to be bending the strings, right? So... Okay, so now it's not going out of tune. So now when I get up on stage, if I played this tonight and got up on stage and went like that. See, it's still in tune. So that's why you do it. If you didn't do that and you got up on stage and bent a string, it's just going to go flat. And then the next time when you go to play a chord, it's going to be awful. It's going to be really out of tune. Still perfectly in tune. It wasn't though, was it? When I started, it was going out because I hadn't stretched it, and now I've stretched it. So some people will say they don't want to stretch it. You're aging the string and etc. Well, that's fine. I want to, because like I said, the other week I got to my show and the guitar was perfectly in tune. And I believe that's because I strung it well. I didn't put the saddle in wrong like I did on this one. And I stretched the strings in. And that's why it stayed in tune. There's no way that would have stayed in tune if I hadn't done those things. So yeah. But you know, if you don't bend strings, you don't need to do what I just did. If you bend strings a lot, you should do what I just did. You should bend them more than you're going to, right? It's like if you're going to sing, it's good to sing a note higher. So when you actually go to sing, you've already sung a note higher in the warm-up. But if you don't bend, then don't do what I did. If you play rhythm, then you don't need to bend them like that. But still give them a pull and still strum hard on the guitar to make sure the strings have had the kind of aggression you're going to be giving them at the gig. Look at this guy, missed most of it. Yeah, it's like I came to see you play last time. You'd finished. You'd finished already. I always stretch my strings on every guitar. It saves time, our most precious resource. Well, it doesn't, because you're spending time stretching the strings in. But at the same time, it will save time at the gig. There's just the worst thing you could do is be at a gig. If you're at a gig and you... And then... You don't want that to happen, where the string drops because you didn't stretch it in. All right, awesome. So I'll be in Germany this week. Yes, subscribe, ring the bell, watch my video from today. I'm going to do another one this evening with some more interesting things, not just a boring old review. I'm going to do one about, well, I'm not going to tell you because you might take my idea. Like David will take my idea and make his own video. So you have to wait for this evening to see my more interesting video on the Nano Cortex with its epic 3-part teaser movie that they made. That talk about time is valuable. I lost 3 hours of my life. Thank you, Neural. Anyway, yes, I didn't like that very much, but I do like their products. And the next software update for Quad Cortex looks very good. And I am now using it as my audio interface. What do you think of the sound? I'm going to get rid of that silly old universal audio thing that they can't keep up to date and just use Quad Cortex. Hey, at least I'm getting my money's worth, right? From the pedal that I bought, because it's been sitting on the side of me there, just used for demos every now and again. If I'm using it all the time, I may even get better at using it. So that's a good thing. All right, I'm going to say goodbye. Thanks to the moderators. I'll be in Germany this week. I'll try to go live. So make sure you have subscribed, ring the bell. If I don't, I'll try and grab some footage and I'll give you an update next week. Should have some more info on the Bags pickups that I know everyone's waiting on, because my top 3 searches on my channel are Hi-Fi Duet, Bags Guitar, and Anthem, something like that. So take care and be well. I'll see you next time. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you, Dale. See you all soon.
6-string today. Vintage wood, shiny frets, strumming blues while the sun